Hey, what's up, guys? I'm giving you my UFC Fight Night Font vs. Vera UFC prediction video. It goes down this Saturday, April 30th, 2022. I'm making this video midweek. Very excited for this main event, man. Two top 10 bantamweights. Bantamweight is probably the most exciting division in the UFC right now, and in most mixed martial arts organizations, including Bellator. Bantamweight's just a really hot prospect division right now, and there's a lot of good talent, man. And we still have some of the OGs up there like Aldo and TJ Dillashaw, you know, still reigning supreme. And we got some younger guys and some fresh talent, as in Rob Font and Marlon Vera in the top 10, hanging around the top 5, trying to push their way to the top here, and I'm really excited for this main event, to say the least. So first up, Taira against Carlos Candelario. Taira, 22-year-old prospect out of Japan. Very excited for this guy's debut. I mean, Japanese prospects have had a hard time making their way up in the UFC. I'm going to go with Taira here. Wasn't really impressed with Candelario on the Dana White Contender Series. I'm going to go with Taira here by decision. Gina Mazany against Shanna Young. Shanna Young dropping to 125. Mazany, we know what we got in her. I think Mazany's a little better than Young. I'm going to side with Mazany here. Mike Breeden against Natan Levy. I was kind of impressed with Levy here in his UFC debut. We've seen how tough Rafa Garcia is. That wasn't an easy UFC debut. Breeden got absolutely smoked by Alex Hernandez. I'm going to go with Levy here, even though the betting action has been coming in against them a little bit. I like Levy here. Johan Lanise against Gabe Green. I've heard Gabe Green might have had some health scares, whatever. I'm still going to side with him here. I do like the guy's volume, but if he's really had some health issues, there's no confidence in this play. But my pick will be Gabe Green here. But I'm looking forward to this fight. This should be a banger. Alexander Romanov against Chase Sherman. Alexander Romanov is currently a minus 2,500 on BetOnline, minus 1,700 on 5 Dimes. Absolutely insane. I don't think Cyborg was ever that big of a favorite, maybe in Bellator or something in one of her squash matches. I don't think Ronda Rousey was ever that big of a favorite in her heyday. Can't recall any UFC person. So it's pretty disrespectful to Chase Sherman, man. Guy doesn't have an elite ground game by any means, but man, he's not a bad heavyweight, man. This guy's put in his time. You know, he's got wins. He's fought a who's who, man. I mean, he's fought a lot of guys. I'll never forget when he fought Justin Ledette, man, in his UFC debut. That was just, they were just throwing down. Back when Ledette was pretty good at heavyweight. So my pick will be Romanov, man, but you know, this is MMA, freak injuries. Crazy things happen in this sport, man. So never say never. Can't imagine anybody laying the chalk, but people have to be for him to be that big of a favorite. So, yeah, give me Romanov by first round knockout. But, hey, man, things happen. Kind of hoping Sherman upsets some lineups here. Daniel da Silva against Francisco Figuereto. Figuereto lost to Malcolm Gordon in his last fight. That says a lot. I'm going to take Daniel da Silva here. Gerald Murshard against Christophe Jotko. I think if Jocko stays off his back, I see Jocko winning this fight, man. Murshard, we know how poor his stand-up is. Jocko at least has serviceable stand-up. I like Jocko here. Give me Jocko. Elkins against Connolly. Interesting fight here. You know, Elkins is getting the love. Minus 167, minus 170. He's taking a lot of damage. He's lived up to his nickname. He's got knocked out by Cub Swanson in his last fight. Connolly got absolutely dominated by Pat Sabatini. We've seen how good Pat Sabatini is. Pat Sabatini is the real deal as far as on the grappling circuit. I'm going to side with Elkins here, man, but I wouldn't be surprised here at all if Connolly got the win here. I can see it being a real close fight. Jared Gordon against Grant Dawson. I'm not high on Grant Dawson, man. We'll see how his move to AT&T or whatever works. Don't really like the fact that he left, he left his longtime gym. That rubs me the wrong way. Jared Gordon's really impressed me since he's kind of moved back up to lightweight. Nice win over Selecki. I think Chavez win was at 45, or that was a catchweight at 150. I was going to say he missed weight. I like Gordon here, man. I think Gordon's underrated. I'm not really high in the guy, but I'm not really high in Grant Dawson either, man. We know Grant Dawson doesn't have any striking to say the least, and he tends to gas out in his fights. Maybe this training at AT&T is paying off. He's got to show me, though. I'm going to side with Jared Gordon here for the upset. Andre Fili against Joe Anderson Brito, man. Andre Fili, man, he's been a gatekeeper at featherweight for so long, man. I mean, I remember betting on this guy back in 2014 in the UFC against Felipe Arantes. I mean, it's crazy, man. This guy's been around forever, and he's fought a tough list here of UFC featherweights. I'm gonna take Andre Fili here, man. We've seen Brito gas out pretty bad in his last fight, in a fight that I was on Bill Algeo on. But maybe he's made some improvements. Maybe he can do something to Fili. But I feel like Fili's just kind of getting a little bit better and a little bit better, and he's a serviceable dude, man. Like, if you want to be a top featherweight, you've got to go through Andre Fili. And I don't know if Brito's there. I'm going to side with Fili here. I mean, obviously, we like Fili at dog prices, but, man, you know, it's kind of weird to see him as a minus 250 favorite, but that's what he is. Next up, co-main event, Jake Collier against Andre Olofsky. Collier's coming off another co-main event spot. I think it was with Chase Sherman back in January on that Calvin Kattar Giga Chikazi fight card. I like Collier here. Arlovsky, I mean, he's had a heavyweight resurgence. What can we say, man? Back in 2017, and then thought the guy was good as done. But you can have a little bit of a longer shelf life in heavyweight, man, especially if you have a good boxing game and stuff like that, where Arlovsky has shown. He's picked up nice wins here in all his fights, man. I'm going to side with Collier here, man. Collier throws a lot of volume. Yeah, his physique doesn't look good at heavyweight, but he's underrated, man. Don't sleep on this guy's ground game either. Absolutely destroyed Chase Sherman, but I'm going to side with Collier here, man. But, man, maybe the Andre Olofsky keeps getting it done. Rob Font against Marlon Vera. I haven't really been high-end Font, man. I've been against, let me see what I picked against, yeah, I did pick Garbrandt against Font. And I did pick Aldo against him. So I haven't been high on Font in his last couple fights, man. The fights that he's headlined. I bet against Font in his last fight. I had Jose Aldo big. In December, and it paid dividends, man. I knew Aldo would be a tough test. Yes, Aldo did not nowhere near match Font in volume in that fight. But Jose Aldo has power, man. And we saw Aldo hurt Font badly in that fight multiple times. And I mean, but Jose Aldo got busted up in that first round, man. I think his eye was pretty fucked up, and his nose was messed up. Font did a number on that guy, man. Font put up some big numbers striking that fight. Marlon Vera, this is his first main event, man. Frankie Edgar was kind of winning that fight until Marlon Vera caught him with that front kick. Beat Davey Grant, lost to Aldo. So we've seen multiple people lose to Aldo here, including, the headliners here, Font and Vera. But I like Font here, man. I there's a lot of people riding Marlon Vera here, and I'm riding the opposite side. I like Rob Font here, man. I think Rob Font's being disrespected. I think Rob Font's a lot better than what he's shown. This guy's shown he can go 5 rounds, no problem with his cardio, man. This guy can go 5 rounds. Can Marlon Vera do that? Rob Font's obviously going to want to keep it standing and want to, keep it striking, man. This guy's a great striker, man. This guy's shown that he can go 5 rounds. I trust his training camp. He trains with Calvin Kattar. Trains with all these guys, man. He's got a really good camp. So I like Rob Font here. He's being disrespected, minus 135. I think he opened a lot higher. Minus 150. 175. So yeah, the odds makers are saying that Font should be the rightful favorite here. I like Rob Font here. Marlon Vera's got to prove it. I'm kind of taking the Font side. So I like that, man. I'm really interested in this main event, though. 2 top 10 bantamweights. I think Font's hovering around 5. But I'm going to side with Rob Font here. So these are my picks, guys. Font, Collier, Fili, Gordon, Elkins, Jotko, Silva, Romanov, Green, Levy, Mazany, Taira.